Hello and welcome to What the F*** Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Amditis. Let's get to it. It's Tuesday, May 2nd, 2023. Welcome to day 833. Joe Biden plans to send 1,500 active duty troops to the southern border ahead of an expected surge of migrants when Title 42 restrictions end. The detachment will join the 2,500 National Guard members who are already at the border. The troops, however, will not serve in a law enforcement capacity and will not interact with migrants, but will instead fill critical capability gaps such as ground-based detection and monitoring, data entry, and warehouse support, said the Pentagon. The troops will carry out this support for 90 days. Title 42, which was invoked at the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, expires on May 11th. It permitted the United States, for public health reasons, to quickly expel migrants who were seeking asylum. Moving on, House Democrats took a procedural step to bypass Kevin McCarthy and the Republican leaders to raise the debt ceiling and avert a federal default. Democrats would need at least 5 Republicans to support a so-called discharge petition, which allows a majority of House lawmakers to bring a bill directly to the floor without the cooperation of leadership. Rather than trying to discharge the bill itself, Democrats would instead add the petition addressing the debt ceiling as an amendment to a placeholder bill from the Democrats, which was filed in January. A possible default is now projected as soon as June 1st. Hakeem Jeffries wrote in a letter to colleagues, House Democrats are working to make sure we have all options at our disposal to avoid a default. The filing of a debt ceiling measure to be brought up on the discharge calendar preserves an important option. It is now time for MAGA Republicans to act in a bipartisan manner to pay America's bills without extreme conditions. Meanwhile, U.S. job openings dropped to their lowest level in nearly 2 years, a sign that demand for workers is starting to cool. The number of available jobs fell for a third straight month to 9.59 million from nearly 10 million a month earlier. Layoffs, meanwhile, jumped to their highest level since December 2020. And finally, some Republicans dismissed a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing about the Supreme Court's ethics as a partisan spectacle. Democrats called the hearing to discuss whether Congress has the authority to require the Supreme Court to adopt an enforceable code of conduct after reports detailed Clarence Thomas's failures to disclose luxury vacations funded by a wealthy Republican megadonor. Dick Durbin, the Democratic chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee, said the Supreme Court could step up and fix this themselves, but for years they have refused, and because the court will not act, Congress must. Lindsey Graham, however, claimed Democrats were leading an unseemly effort to destroy the legitimacy of the Supreme Court, calling it an assault on Justice Thomas. Although Chuck Grassley dismissed the hearing as a relentless political battering, he did agree that it does appear there needs to be better oversight of the High Court. Tom Tillis added that the court could update, refresh, and address the concerns without requiring any congressional action. Chief Justice John Roberts, however, declined the committee's invitation to testify. That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website. And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Amditis.